All right. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, no matter where you are in the world. We want to welcome you to the e-estate webinar presentation for Friday, February the 20th. And we have some absolutely incredible information that we want to share with you. Information that's already helping people improve their lives financially all over the world. If you're excited to be on the call with us, can I see you? Give me some reactions, some hearts, and some hundreds just to make sure that you can hear me loud and clear and all of the equipment is working properly and that we're ready to go. There you go. I see the hearts and hundreds. I see my wife on. I see, who else do I see on? I see a lot of people on today. We got Desiree is on, Adonis is on, Famous on, Freddie's on. Grace is on. Kim is on. I love it. I love it. Maurice is on. Nell is on. Roger's on. Thomas is on. There you go. We got some incredible people on the call today. And we thank you for taking some time out of your day just to join us on this presentation. But we believe that we're here to serve and we're going to give you some information that can really change your situation. Now, I want you guys to know right up front that I am not a financial advisor. I do not give financial advice, and nothing in this presentation should be considered any type of financial advice. But what I am going to do is I'm going to make sure that you get all the information that you need so that you can make an educated decision for yourself, whether you are ready and prepared to take part in this new wave of wealth that's being created through real estate tokenization. Now, without further ado, I want to jump right into this information and I want to introduce to some and present to others the new era of real estate. Today, we're going to talk about tokenized ownership, global access, and blockchain backed real world assets. This is absolutely phenomenal that we get to participate in the real estate space in this way because it allows us to earn significant passive income. Now, anytime I do a presentation, I like to share a little bit of information about myself so you can see why I'm even qualified to be presenting this information to you. But I have to let you guys know that I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I've been involved in the entrepreneurship and networking space for over 20 years now. And I've seen the highs and the lows, the ups and the downs, the success, the failure, and everything in between. I've been able to make millions of dollars from this space. And I've been able to help other people make millions of dollars from this space. But I want you guys to know today, I'm more excited about what I have to show you today than anything that I have participated in before. Now, I know that's a very bold statement for me to make, but I want you guys to understand how significant this is because we have people creating wealth through real estate all over the world. Now, I'm a strategic partner with eEstate. They found it suitable for me to partner with me and my company to help take this company around the world and to create billions of dollars of revenue and wealth for people, right? And so that's what I'm excited about right now. Now, I feel like I have the skills and the qualities to be able to come bring this information to you because of that experience I had in entrepreneurship, but also my experience in the financial space. See, I started at the bank because I wanted to learn everything about our financial space. I wanted to learn more about the financial markets, but more importantly, I wanted to learn exactly how money worked. So I got involved at the bank as a banker, worked my way up that corporate ladder, and I got to the executive roles at the bank. And here's what I found out, guys, after all of that. Here's the main thing that I found out. I found out that our financial system is not set up for the average everyday people to create wealth. It's not set up for you that way. As a matter of fact, a lot of times the system, the way it's programmed and designed, is actually working against you. Now, I don't want you to take that as a negative thing. I want you to take that as a point of information so you can determine how you actually are going to participate in our financial system, right? Now, I learned when I was at the bank that the bank is not the place for you to try to create wealth. It's not the right vehicle for that. I think a lot of people in the world have the idea that they want to create financial wealth. Anybody want to get wealthy? Anybody have a goal of financial independence or financial abundance right now? If anybody has that goal, let me see the hearts and hundreds. I know it's not everybody. Not everybody's actually going after wealth, but I know there's some of us who are saying, yeah, I want to create wealth in my life. I want to become financially independent. I don't want to have to be dependent on family members or the government to live the life that I want. Right. And let me tell you this, you have to really start to understand the money game if you want to win at the game of money. See, most people are not winning in the game of money because they don't understand the money game. But today, I want to give you some insight and education on the money game that can allow you to win at the game of money. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some mindset shifting things that's going to shift you from the poor and middle class side of money to the rich and wealthy side of money. How many of you all are ready to join the rich and wealthy side of money? Let me see the hearts and hundreds, right? If you're ready to do that, I'm going to give you the game plan for that. And look, here's what I'm so passionate about is just helping you make that shift or that transition, that it's not really about me trying to sell, persuade, or even convince you to do what I'm doing. This call is more about me educating you on a new way to participate in our financial space. Now, do I feel we have one of the greatest ways for you to participate and actually achieve wealth? Yes. I don't think you're going to find too many opportunities that are better than what I'm going to show you today. And the reason why is because it involves real estate. Now, if you know anything about real estate, it has been used to create, maintain, and maximize wealth since almost the beginning of time, right? But here's the problem. There's traditionally been a wealth gap in real estate where average everyday people cannot participate in the real estate space in a very significant way when it comes to high performing real estate assets that produce significant passive income. See, most people are already priced out. They can't even get in. And the reason why is because of the amount of capital it takes to get involved, the level of credit that you have to need to get involved, and the level of connections that you need to actually get involved. And if you didn't have all of those or a combination of the three, then guess what? You weren't getting into the real estate space. You were priced out. You weren't even in on the conversations about high performing real estate assets. You never get the memo. You were in the room. And so one of the biggest lies that have been told is that they try to pull disguise over our eyes that there's a level playing field when it comes to real estate when it's not. Can I tell you that some of the best vehicles, some of the best real estate projects never make it to the MLS? They never make it to Zillow where you're going to look. You don't even get access to it. Those deals are closed before you get an opportunity to raise your hand and say, I want to get in on this. Now, one of the ways that they keep you out of top tier real estate assets that produce significant income is by saying you need to be an accredited investor. Now, they say that because they say that they're protecting you from high risk opportunities. So they're saying that these high risk opportunities should only be for people who have already established a certain amount of wealth. Think about what it means to be an accredited investor. An accredited investor is someone who has $1 million net worth outside of their primary residence. They have an income of over $250,000 a year, and some opportunities require you to even have an investment license in securities. Let me tell you, that just lets me know that there's certain people they don't want participating in. Now they say they don't want you to be involved in these high risk opportunities, but here's what they don't tell you, that eliminating you from being able to participate in higher risk opportunities also eliminates you from participating in high reward opportunities. See, they understand that risk it comes with it, so they're like they don't care about the risk. Can I tell you that? Like this is the thing. They understand that where there's no risk, there's no reward. But they tell you to stay safe. You need to go just pile up your money over here in the bank account. That's why they tell you go to work, put your money in the bank, save up. Here's the truth, guys. You can really never save your way to wealth. There's not many people who just only save their way to wealth. Shrinking is not a strategy for wealth. They will tell you to shrink your budget instead of increasing your income. They tell you to play the game of cash accumulation when they're playing the game of cash acceleration. How many of you all, right, knowing that if you focus on cash acceleration, if you learn how to accelerate your cash flow, that you can stack more of it? If you believe that to be true, let me see the hearts and hundreds. Let me see the hearts and hundreds. So if that's true, if you can accelerate your cash flow, then you can accelerate your cash accumulation. But the problem is that the society and our cultural system is teaching us to just stack money. And here's the thing: if you stack money in a bank account, you're putting your money in a losing situation. What do I mean a losing situation? Your money is decreasing in value every single year. How many of you all know I'm telling the truth? If you know I'm telling the truth right now, that money, your dollar is worth less every single year. What I mean is you can buy less with your dollar every single year. Let me see the hearts and hundreds with that, right? That's the truth. You can buy less with your dollar every single year. But they want you to stack that. It's not about that, guys. That's what I'm telling you. That's why we got to change the game. Do you understand that even Elon Musk, then less than 1% of his wealth is in cash? What do rich and wealthy people do? They actually put their money in assets. Why do they put their money in assets? Because asset income follows assets. Let me tell y'all the truth. See, this cause is all about exposing the truth, really, right? That's all it's about. It's exposing the truth. So here's let me expose some truth to you right here. I want you to write this in your notes. Money is not supposed to be a pool to be viewed. It's supposed to be a tool to be used. Woo. Hold on. I want y'all to get that. Money is not supposed to be a pool to be viewed. Money was designed and is supposed to be a tool to be used. If that just helped you in your mindset right there, let me see the hearts and hundreds. If that just helped you shift something in your mindset right there, it's not supposed to be a pool to be viewed. It's supposed to be a tool to be used. You use money as a tool to actually bring you more money. That's what it's supposed to do. So let me tell you, what we're going to do is we're now shrinking that gap in real estate. That wealth gap is being shrink. We're going to eliminate that lack of access. Here's what I'm going to tell you today. Here's the truth. You do not lack access to abundance. I don't care what you're saying. I don't care what your financial situation is. I don't care where you live. I don't care who you are. I don't care what color you are. You do not lack access to abundance. The truth of the matter is you lack awareness of the access that you have to abundance. So what we're going to do is we're going to make you aware of the abundance that you have access to today. All right. Is that okay? That's what we're going to do today. Now, what I want to tell you is that there's a shift that's happening in our financial space that most people are not paying attention to. You know what that shift is? Tokenization. It's happening. It's being talked about all the time. All the great financial minds and institutions are talking about tokenization. Now, when it comes to tokenization, I want you guys to realize that this is a 16 million. I'm sorry, I said million. If it was millions, it would be good. But here's what I want you to understand. It's a $16 trillion market shift, not by 3030. It's by 2030. Hold on, wait a minute. It's a $16 trillion market shift by 2030. Let's see, where are we right now? We're in 2026. 2030 will be here in 4 years. Let me help you understand how fast time is flying. How many of you all realize we went through a pandemic, right? We went through a pandemic in 2020. How many of you all think right now it seemed like the pandemic was yesterday? We went through that. It doesn't seem like 6 years, right? The pandemic was 6 years ago. Do you realize how fast money is how fast time is flying? The pandemic was 6 years ago. So we're talking about in the next 4 years, there's going to be a $16 trillion market shift, and you're not preparing yourself to participate in that. That would be the worst financial decision that you could ever make. Let me tell you the truth. Most people are not devastated by financial decisions that they made to try to increase their finances. They are devastated by financial opportunities that they missed because they were scared to take advantage of them. Do you know more people would be millionaires right now if they were willing to step out and try a new thing instead of doing the old thing that they already know doesn't work? So here's what rich and wealthy people do. Now remember, the only characteristic that I'm going to be mentioning right now is rich and wealthy. Why? Because success leaves clues. I don't have to model or mimic your entire life to learn what you do with money so that I can understand money better. The first thing that I want to tell you guys to do is to separate your feelings from your finances. That needs to be the great divorce. Divorce your feelings from your finances because your feelings going to get you in trouble each time, right? So I want to tell you now, we're going to divorce our feelings from our finances. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at what's happening in our financial space. Here's an article that was published on November 17th. It says Trump's Maldives hotel will be a tokenized real estate project. Now, I don't care how you feel about Trump. I don't care how you feel about the administration. I don't care what side of the house that you fall on. What I want you to do is look at what's happening and take this as a point of information. This is showing you that this is going to be a tokenized project that's going to allow investors to buy digital shares of the development. So what did Trump and the Trump organization, Eric Trump, Donald Trump, all of them, right? Let me tell you what they're doing. They said, we're going to try this tokenization thing. We've been involved in real estate the traditional way forever. But we see this tokenization thing. We want to be the first to jump into it because they understand the first to get into it gets the most capital. They're the ones that profit the most. They get the most benefit. So they're not afraid to step out and try something new. Let me tell you what we're doing. We are looking at what rich and wealthy people are doing because it's going to let us know where the river of money is flowing. All you got to do is connect the dots. We learned how to do that in first grade, didn't we? Why did we forget to do that afterwards? Let's connect the dots, right? So let me show you another point of information. Connect these dots together. If we look at the patterns that's happening with institutional investors and high net worth investors, it shows that 80% of high net worth investors and 67% of institutional investors already invest or plan to invest in tokenized assets. That's another point of information. Rich and wealthy people are taking their money and they're moving it over to what? Tokenization. Why? That's where the river of money is flowing. So that's another point of information. Let's connect these dots, guys. We're going to continue to connect the dots. Here's another dot that I want you to connect. If we look at what the largest asset manager in the world is doing, Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, says that tokenization could do for finance what the early internet did for information. Let's another point of information. What does this mean? He's saying the early internet did this for information. It accelerated it and it opened up access to more people than ever before. Where information used to be highly guarded and only the select few got access to information, when the internet was introduced, what did it do? It accelerated the rate at which we could get information and it opened up access to even more people to be able to receive information. Right? So what is it going to do for finance? What is tokenization going to do? It's going to accelerate the rate at which we are able to earn and capitalize in our financial markets, but also it's going to open up access to new vehicles to more people than ever before. So people who usually would not have a vehicle to create wealth are now going to have the opportunity to create wealth, just like rich and wealthy people have been doing it forever. This is why it's very important for us to take a look at this information. I just showed you, I just gave you 3 different points of information, and there's a power in 3. There's power in 3, guys. And I want to tell you, there's 3 different points of information. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at what tokenization is. Because once we get this, we're going to totally understand why the river of money is flowing over here. Now, most people don't get involved in tokenization because it's a big word, right? So you say, this is a big word and I don't understand it, Anthony. And I don't like to get involved in things that I don't understand. And so when you don't understand it or you're confused, you don't do anything. But guess who knows that? The powers that be. So guess what? When they talk about tokenization, they're going to give it to you in a way that you can't digest it. And if you can't digest it, it can't be nourishment. And so if it's not nourishment, it doesn't help you grow. And if you don't, oh man, I think I'm teaching better than you guys understand. So it will never help you grow. So here's what I want you to understand. I'm going to give it to you in a way that you can receive it, you can digest it. And when you can digest it, it becomes nourishment. And now you can grow. And then when you can grow, your money can grow. Let's help your money grow. Here's what tokenization is. Woo. I hope y'all are hot like I'm hot. Here's what tokenization is, right? Tokenization is simply the process of converting real estate asset ownership into digital tokens on the blockchain. Now, why in the world would we put real estate asset ownership on the blockchain? Well, let's look at what the blockchain is first, right? The blockchain is a tamper-proof digital ledger that's totally secure, totally anonymous, totally transparent, and faster than any other ledger that we've ever had. What does that do? It eliminates human error and human opinion and human mischief. I don't know. How many of y'all know? Look, when it comes to money, people act funny. Right? Let me see the hearts of 100. When it comes to money, sometimes people start to act funny. Right? And when it comes to money, you'll see people who are usually stand-up people, because money is involved, they might do some little off-the-wall things. What I want to tell you is now we can avoid that by how? We can take some things that are in contracts, we take it out of the hands of human responsibility, and we program it into a smart contract. And when that smart contract is programmed, it can't be changed by a human. It's finite, it's set in stone. And so that smart contract is set to operate the way that it's supposed to. And so now I get to create permissionless profits. I don't have to wait for another human to give me permission to get paid. We have more transparent transactions. It's a digital ledger. So I'm able to go look at that ledger and I say, oh, this is the amount of tokens that I own for this property. And this is going to get me this share of the profits for that property. And I can go look at, oh, you sent me my share. So now it can automatically be programmed that I'm getting my profits every time. And I don't have to worry if Joe Blow, who I don't know, is going to send me my dough. Right? So now that's better. It's a better way to do things. What else does it do? It creates a better liquidity of real estate. See, you got to create a win-win-win situation for you to create wealth. This is better for the people who have development projects. Why? Because they can raise capital for their projects faster than ever before, because they can open up their projects to global markets instead of just regional markets. And when they can open their projects up to global participation, they can fund their projects better. Case in point, our company, right? Our company launched with 9 properties. In the first 4 months, they had already totally tokenized and sold out one of those properties. And another month, they sold out another property that we had. So in the matter of 7 months, we already totally sold out 2 properties that have been totally tokenized. That shows you that our model absolutely worked. It's better liquidity of real estate. But you probably wonder, okay, that's good for the company. What does that mean for me? But better liquidity of real estate means that your profits are more liquid than ever before. How about you being able to get paid daily from real estate instead of having to wait months, weeks, or years to get paid from real estate? This is what you call a true revolution of real estate. Now, the other thing that happens is that it opens up opportunities for modest investors. So now you don't need tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even millions of dollars to participate in high-performing real estate assets. You can have as little as $10 and you can get in on this. You can get in on this, guys. Look, this is what we've been looking for. But can you guys do me a favor? Even though you can get involved in high-performing real estate assets for $10, can you still treat it like a $1 million opportunity that it is? Don't treat this $1 million opportunity like it's a $10 opportunity, because you're only doing yourself a disservice. If y'all do that for me, that's the only thing I'm going to ask. If you'll do that for me, let me see the hearts and hundreds. You said, look, I'm not going to treat this like a $10 opportunity. Right? I'm going to treat this like the $1 million, $1 billion opportunity that it really is. Now, let me show you how you can participate. There's one company that's giving you the opportunity to participate unlike any other company. That company is called eEstate. It's revolutionizing the real estate market by combining cutting edge technology with real estate opportunities and opening up the door for everyone. They're excluding no one. This is a global opportunity where anyone can participate. Now, this is powerful right here, because if you've been looking for a way to get in on the real estate space, this is it. This is the one for you to get in on when you've never had a chance before. All right. Now, let's talk about if this company is the right company. Here's how I decided that this was the right company, right? When I was introduced, this was back in November of 2024. They connected me with the company. I had to step out on faith. You don't have to have as much faith as I had. Why? Because when they came to me, you know what they had? Nothing. They had an idea and a concept. They didn't have anything else. No website, no PDF documents, none of that. They had a concept. So when they came to me, I said, they came to me on a consulting basis. They told me what they wanted to launch, right? And I said, okay, cool. That's a good vision. I like what you're doing. Let me tell you, I've been involved in tokenized projects before. Let me tell you what I saw went wrong. Let me tell you the things that I think should go right. And this is how this thing can go to the next level. They said, okay, cool. We'll take that and we'll come back to you later. They came back to me in a couple months. And here's what they said. They said, Anthony, all right, we put some things together and we plan on launching in June of 2025. I said, that sounds good. Let's do it, right? I said, let me see what you have. They told me, okay, what we've done, we acquired 9 properties. I said, hold on, wait a minute. I've been involved in these other projects before. There's not one project that I've been involved in. They said we acquired 9 properties. That lets me know they ain't playing games. See, when you're really serious about your vision, you don't take small steps, you take big steps, right? And you say, well, look, I'm going to go ahead and acquire the properties. They acquired 9 properties. When we launched in June, we had 9 properties on our platform. But what happened after that? Let me tell you, in 6 months, this is what this company was able to achieve, guys. In 6 months, this company grew to more than 10,500 registered users. This company had registered more than 5,000 real estate purchase transactions. This company had sold more than 2 million EST that's backed by real world property. This company had grew to more than 1,200 agents and professionals representing this company worldwide. But here's my favorite number, guys. This company had paid out more than $2.5 million to users of the platform who had purchased tokenized real estate assets. Now, they started with 9 properties. In 6 months, they had grown to 11 properties. Now we're up to 12. We have over $100 million of real estate properties on our platform. I believe this company is doing the right thing the right way. Now, let me dispel some things for you. Some people are saying, "Oh, is this like the metaverse?" Because I remember that when people were buying those fake properties that are located in digital places and stuff like that. No, this is not that. And some people ask me, so, is this e-commerce? Because, some people call, digital, they call e-commerce digital real estate. I get why they do that, but no, this is not that. You know what this is? These are real properties around the world, verified real estate assets. You know what? How can I be more comfortable? Well, let me tell you, our real estate assets are insured. They're properly insured by insurance, so that's real protection. Here's the next thing. I want to tell you that every property is tokenized for greater liquidity, but here's what you should understand is that every property undergoes a thorough auditing process, which includes AI-driven analysis, but also the analysis of human experts in the real estate space. Yes, we have a company, a real estate company, traditional real estate company that has over 50 years of experience in real estate that's headed by our co-founder, Mike Hamilton, that also evaluates the properties that we potentially bring to the platform. Can I tell you guys that 99% of the properties that they evaluate, they don't approve? Why? Because those properties have to fit our specific and strategic income model. And if it doesn't fit that, then it doesn't come to the platform. So you can rest assured that you're participating in the very best real estate assets for our platform. Now, here's the next thing. Our company is LEI verified, which is required for entities that are participating in financial transactions. But here's what I also want you to know, that the company is community focused. We're building one of the largest real estate tokenization communities that has ever existed. So you should be proud to be a part of this community if you decide to join what we're doing. Now, you also may be concerned about compliance and verification, but I'm happy to let you know that we're compliant when it comes to financial action task force standards or anti-money laundering standards, or as I mentioned before, the legal entity identifier, which can be found on Bloomberg. We meet all of those requirements, verification and compliance standards. Now, let's talk about the properties that we have on our platform, because I told you real properties, but why not show you the properties? Right? I think it's better for me to show you the properties. Here is one of the properties that's on our platform, which is a lake house that's in Lakeside, Oregon, right? Beautiful lake house. If you could tell from this picture, this is a beautiful property that we get to participate in. But let's look at the numbers. This house was built in 2007. It's a two-story home with a crawl space, and it's a contemporary style home. It's actually 3,780 total living area. It's sitting on 3.3 acres. It's 3 bedrooms, 3 baths with a two-car attached garage. It has a 40-foot by 60-foot shop that's sitting out back. It gives you views of the lake and the forest, and you get direct access from the home to the lake. Now let me make sure y'all paying attention. Y'all need to be paying attention. I'm gonna do a giveaway at the end, so I hope y'all paying attention, right? Because you're gonna have to know some of this information. How many of you all think that's a beautiful that's an amazing property to participate in, right? That's amazing. It's a beautiful property. I love that. This is what I'm talking about, high performing real estate assets. Now, let's look at the short term rental performance of this. Let's look at the financial numbers. This house is more than $950 per day at average daily rate. The estimated annual occupancy is 65 to 75%. The projected annual rental revenue is $208,000 to $260,000 per year, right? The average stay length is anywhere from 3.5 to 4 nights during peak season, right? The annual estimate is 3.2 nights. The average person is the average stay is for this home, right? So it has an incredible short-term rental performance overview. Let me give you one more example. Here's a villa that's located in California. Beautiful property here also, right? So let's talk about this property. It was built in 2005. It's a one-story home, slab on grade. The style is a modern single-family residence. The total living area is 3,308 square feet. Then the total land size is zero point 0.3 acres, and it has a two-car attached garage. It's in a residential neighborhood with a private yard. All right. Now, here's the next thing I want to show you guys here. Here's the short-term rental performance overview. You're talking about $1,250 average daily rate. The estimated annual occupancy is 55 to 60%, and the projected annual rental revenue for this property is $275,000 to $315,000 per year. The average annual estimate for the average stay length is about 3.2 nights. Once again, we got another high performing real estate property here. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to make sure you guys understand what it would typically take for you to get involved with a property like this. In the traditional sense, you would have to go out and find a high producing real estate asset in order to participate in one like this. If you wanted to get involved in the real estate space in a way like this, you go find a property. Hopefully that it's a high performing property, right? Once you find the property, you're going to have to make a purchase of it. So you're going to have to go to the bank or a mortgage company and you're going to say, look, I want to do this. Now, typically they're going to say this is a second home for you and you're going to put a mortgage on it and they're going to ask about 20% down. Now, let's just say the average price of a house is about $250,000. So if you do 20% down, that's about $50,000 that you're going to have to come up with on your own, right? So you come up with the 50,000, you say, cool, I'll do that, right? I do want to create this passive income through real estate. So after you purchase the home and you get it, you did your 50,000 down. Now you're going to have to prepare the home for rental. Now we're going to just use it. You could do short-term rental. We're going to do the long-term lease thing, right? But let's just do that, right? So let's just say if you put it out there for rental, you're going to have to find a tenant that's going to occupy your property. Now you got to get it set up for that rental, but once you find that tenant, you're good to go. You find a tenant, they go ahead and move in. Now, what you're going to have to do is make sure that your rate of rental is matching the market. Now you have a mortgage on this, so let's just say your mortgage is $2,000 a month. So you have to put it on the market for at least $2,500 for you to have some sort of passive income from this property. Right? So let's just say you have it at $2,500. Then now you got that going. You have a tenant in there. You're making about $500 a month of passive income from that property. Now, that's great until what happens, right? Until the HVAC system goes out. When that HVAC system goes out, it eats up those profits. Because have you seen the price of HVAC systems now, right? Or until that toilet starts throwing up at 3 a.m., right? and you got a tenant calling you at 3 a.m. saying, hey, man, look, the toilet throwing up on me, right? You got to do something about this. You seen what it costs to get a plumber to come out at 3 a.m.? It's crazy, right? But or they have that rainstorm and you find out that the roof wasn't as strong and there's a leak it's dropping on their son's head. There's water dropping on my son's head. Can you do something about this? All of that is your responsibility because you now become a landlord. I don't know about you, and you may feel differently, but how many of you that sounds more like a job? How many, that little landlord opportunity sounds like I just bought myself another job, right? We ain't even got into if the tenant's gonna pay their rent on time or not, right? So we haven't even got into that. That sounds more like a job, guys, if you're gonna participate in the traditional space. But here's what I want to tell you guys. What if there was another option? What if there was an alternative, right? Let me give you a scenario of an alternative. What if you had the opportunity to get involved? Maybe I already own these properties. So you're just going to use me as an example. I own these properties and I tell you, hey, look, man, I got this property. And you know what? I already make about $20,000 a month on this property. It does pretty good for me, right? And I say, well, look, you know what? And you say you want to get involved, I'll let you get involved in this. I tell you what, I'll this property, we're gonna use average numbers so I can do the math easy, right? So we're gonna say $200,000, right? So let's say this property is $200,000. If you give me 20,000, which will be 10%, right? Give me 20,000, that'll let you get 10% of the profits that I get every month. I'll give you 10%. What is that? That's $2,000 a month. And I said, I'll give you that for how long? I'm gonna give you that for 18 months. That means you give me $20,000, you're gonna earn $36,000 in 18 months. In 18 months, you turn 20,000 into 36,000. How many of you all think that's a good deal? Let me see the hearts and hundreds. You don't have to become a landlord. You don't have to man. I'm gonna do you. Your name is not going to be on the deed, so you don't have to pay taxes on it. You don't have to do any of that stuff, right? You don't have to worry about any headaches or anything. You just get to earn the passive income. Pretty cool deal, right? I like the way that that works. You probably saying, cool, I'll do that. So you do that. Now let's see. It's a good for you because you say, well, I'm going to earn $36,000 in 18 months. I'm good with that. But I tell you, I said, well, look, until I sell the property, I'm going to be fair. What I'm going to do is after the 18 months, I'm going to pay you 10% annually until I sell the property. So you did 20,000. I'll pay you $2,000 every year until I sell the property after the 18 months. You say, okay, cool, that's good. I made $36,000 in 18 months, and you're gonna pay me $2,000 a year after that? That's pretty cool. I like that, right? And then I say, well, look, when I sell the property, when I get ready to sell it, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you your 20,000 back. You get to keep all the profits that you earn, but I'm gonna give you your $20,000 back. Hold on, wait a minute. You would give me the $20,000 back? Absolutely. How many of y'all think that's a good deal? If you could find that, you would do it. And you had the money to do it, and you can find that deal, you would do it. There you go. Most people would. If you have any type of financial intelligence, most people would do that, right? That's pretty cool. Can I tell you this? Now, let me ask you something. If I told you, I said, well, look, you did this with me. I want to do this. I want to fill up. I got 10 spots in my property. It's $200,000. I'm gonna open up for 10 people to participate, right? So you already one of them. If you can find somebody else that want to do it, and let's just say the other person is Coach Rashid, right? I see him on the call, so I'm gonna just use Coach Rashid. So you go over to Coach Rashid and you say, Coach, hey, look, this is what I'm doing with this guy Anthony. He said, give him 20,000. He gonna pay me 10%. He's gonna pay me 10% every month of the profits he get, and he's getting on average over $20,000 a month. So that means you get at least like $2,000 a month for the first 18 months, and then after that, he's gonna pay you 10% per year after that. And when he sell the property, he's gonna give you your 20,000 back. Coach Rashid probably say, "Man, absolutely, let me do that too. I want to do it." And I tell you, I said, "Well, look, if you bring Coach Rashid on and he does it, I'm gonna pay you $1,200. I'll pay you 12 because it's a finder's fee. I'm just pay you the $1,200 because you found him, right? And so Coach Rashid comes to do it. Now, is Coach Rashid happy? And are you happy? Yes, you're happy. Coach Rashid is happy. So that's a win-win. Now, am I happy? Think about it. I paid them $4,000 a month. How much do I get to keep? I get to keep 16,000. What? Until I fully recapitalize my property. Now, I get you and Coach Rashid help me get the other 8 people until it's fully recapitalized. I raise what? 200,000. I pay y'all for how long? Each person, I'm gonna pay them for 18 months. Now, after everybody's 18 months is gone, right? After everybody's 18 months is gone, how much? I'm making $20,000 a month still, right? So I'm making $20,000 a month. But how much am I paying every year? What's 10% of 200,000? I'm paying $20,000 a year. I'm paying them $20,000 a year. I'm making $20,000 a month. Am I happy about this arrangement? Absolutely. Are you happy about the arrangement? Absolutely. Is the market happy? Absolutely. It's a win-win-win situation for everyone. Now you probably say, Anthony, that sounds good, but it doesn't exist. How about I tell you this? Yes, it does. You just haven't seen it yet. Remember, I told you you don't lack access. You just lack awareness of the access that you have to abundance. So now I'm going to show you that our company, eEstate, has set it up so you can participate in that very same way. But what makes it even better that this is built into smart contracts, so it happens on the blockchain, so you don't have to worry if Anthony's going to send me my money like he's supposed to. It's automatically programmed that you're going to get your money like you're supposed to. And you don't have to wait for monthly payouts. We get paid daily. Let me tell you how it works. When you purchase tokens that represents your share of a property, you get to participate in the profits from that property based on our two-phase income model. Now, the first phase of our income model lasts for 18 months. Now, during that 18 months, you're going to get paid profits daily, Monday through Friday. Now, you're going to earn anywhere from 6 to 20% per month based on the performance of the property that you're participating in. Now, after that first 18 months is over, you're going to go into phase two. And phase two is where you're going to get paid 10% annually for the lifetime of the property or until that property gets sold. Now, once that property gets sold, the company is going to come back and they're going to purchase your tokens back from you and you get your initial capital back. I just broke down the whole game for you when it comes to real estate and why we are revolutionizing the real estate space. E-estate is totally revolutionizing the real estate space. If you missed other ways to participate like this, if you've missed other shifts and revolutions like this, like when we went from the transportation model where everybody called a cab, then there was a shift. Now everybody gets an Uber. Uber shifted the transportation space. When we went from traditional retail until Amazon came around and it revolutionized the retail space by going into e-commerce, right? Or what about when Netflix disrupted the DVD CD rental space, and now you had Blockbuster go out of business because Netflix changed us over to a streaming society. What I want to tell you right now is that there's a disruption that's happening. And you get to not only spectate, but you get to participate in this disruption where it can mean that you can actually capitalize on it. This is what's happening, guys. And this is why this is so powerful. Now, some of you all are thinking that nothing like this has ever been done. And I want to tell you that that's not true. You just didn't know about it. Once again, man, can I tell you? Here's what I learned when it came to knowledge, right? Little did I know how little I knew. There's a point of enlightenment when you'll realize, you'll be like, little did I know how little I know. I didn't know that this was happening. Oh, I'm trying to give y'all something. I didn't know this was happening. But look, this is Skygate Growth Strategy. Most of you all may not have heard from it, but look, Skygate Growth Strategies, they handle major development projects in Miami. Let me tell you what they do. They're responsible for like the Mercedes-Benz residences and the Dolce Gabbana residences that are in Miami. They raise the funds for those properties, right? Now, let me tell you, they had this one. This is the Dolce Gabbana residences. And most people just weren't aware that they were raising funds for this because once again, like I said at the beginning of the call, you weren't in the know. You didn't get the memo. Nobody reached out to you and said, hey, this is happening. Well, look, let me tell you, with this one, you do have to be an accredited investor to get involved. The minimum investment is $100,000 for you to participate. The preferred rate of return is 8% annually. They pay you out your distribution monthly. They don't even charge you any management fee. Your total IRR is 32% in 4 years. Now, let me tell you, accredited investors and rich and wealthy people have been doing things like this. They had no problem funding this project. This project was totally funded. As a matter of fact, it closed on December 31st of 2025. Rich and wealthy people have been doing this forever because they had access to vehicles like this. They actually do this instead of letting their money sit in the bank. Right? But let me show you something. I want to do a comparison. That's a Miami development project. How about we have a property in Miami? It's an apartment that's in Icon Brickell. That this apartment's in Icon Brickell, one of the most legendary buildings in the Brickell area of Miami, right? It's the residential side of the W Hotel. So we have a property in that building. Now, you have the opportunity to get involved in this one. Let me tell you, it's not $100,000 minimum investment, it's $10. It's $10 minimum investment, and a you do not have to be a accredited investor to get involved. Give me 1 second. So you do not have to be an accredited investor to get involved. This is incredible here. So what I want to tell you is that is revolutionary. Now, here's what I want you guys to understand. $100,000 in this property is projected to get you $420 per day or $8,820 per month. And in 18 months, you'll earn $158,000 in 10 months. I mean, in 18 months. Your break even point is 10 months. Let me show you. Hold on. This doesn't do it justice. Let me go in. Let me show you this screen right here. Let me show you this right here. Now, I went into Google Gemini and I put both opportunities in Google Gemini. And I said, can you compare them and give me a graphic description of the comparison between these? And it said, hey, here's the traditional versus the estate tokenized asset model. So they said, here's the traditional model, Skygate growth strategy. Minimum investment, 100,000, have to be an accredited investor. The estimated monthly payout for this one on 100K is $667,000. What? Okay, now the next one, let me tell you, estate, their Miami property, when you purchase tokens for this property, the minimum investment is $10. It's open to everyone. The estimated monthly payout on this one, on 100K, is $8,820. That's 13 times more cash flow through this one. What? How many of you all want 13 times more cash flow? If you would prefer the 13 times more cash flow, let me see the hearts and hundreds with that. Let me see you guys. Who got the financial wherewithal? Be like, I want this. I see what I want, right? It's just better. Here's what I want to tell you guys. You don't have to wait. You can get started today. And I'm going to be open and candid about this. You don't want to wait. You can get started today. Look, guys, let me do some math for you. And I want y'all to hear my heart. Here's what I see. I see a lot of people see this. They may even register, but they register and they never put any money into one of these assets so it can make money for them. Look, I want to ask you a question. If you promise not to be one of those people, let me see the hearts and hundreds really quick. Let me see the hearts and hundreds really quick. I want you just to say, I'm not going to be one of those people. Because here's why I don't want you to be one of those people, right? Because I could give you the best opportunity in the world, but 0 times 100% a month is still 0. Give yourself a chance to win. If you enroll, I don't care if it's $10, put some money to work for you. Can I tell you the problem that I see as I talk to people? And now, y'all just let me talk a little. I just want to talk a little bit. Let me tell you what the problem that I see with people. People don't understand the game of leverage. Well, they don't understand it, but some people understand it, but they play it the wrong way. Here's what I mean. I want y'all to hear my heart. Here's what I mean. People would rather leverage their time and their bodies than their mind and their money. What? If y'all picking up what I'm putting down, let me see the hearts and hundreds. People would rather leverage their time and their bodies than their mind and their money. Here's the problem with that. Because Time is a limited resource. We won't be here forever. You don't have forever. I don't care what anybody tells you. We won't be here forever and we don't have forever. That's what I want you to understand. Time is a limited resource, but you want to give up that limited resource to make the money. But here's the other thing, right? I want to say people will leverage their bodies. Can I tell you, the more you keep leveraging your body to make money, guess what? Your body eventually breaks down. How can I prove it? Because when about 10 years ago, I used to jump out of bed. This morning, I slid out of bed. And I'm a runner. I've run consistently. How many of y'all? Look, can y'all let me know I'm not the only one? Hearts and hundreds. If you know, like you used to jump out of bed, but now what you do? You slide out of bed, right? That lets you know our bodies don't last forever. And the more you overwork your body, you get what I'm saying? Here's what happens on the contrary, right? If you learn to leverage your mind and your money, do you know the more you work your mind, the better your mind works for you? The more you work your mind, the better your mind works for you. So it is a compounding asset for you to increase your value. That's why I get upset when they have this stat that most people never pick up another book after formal education. What? That's see, you mean if you work your mind and you learn more, you mean that knowledge compounds and you get to use that and you stop learning? Why would you stop learning? That's one thing. Stop, pick up a book, learn more, work your mind. Here's the next thing, work your money. Do you know the more you work your money, the more money you have to work for you? And when you have more money to work for you, the less you have to work for money. That's why we leverage compounding assets and compounding principles. If I just help somebody with that, let me see the hearts and hundreds. Let me see the hearts and hundreds, right? I want to know who I'm helping today. Now, let me tell you, you can get involved. This is not one of those things that you're eliminated from. You can actually participate. How do you get involved with this? Because all you got to do is reach out to the person who invited you. That person is a digital real estate agent. I'm going to show you how you can become one too. But they're a digital real estate agent. They're going to send you over a link for you to set up your free account and to get KYC verified with our company. Once you do that process, you'll be able to go through our real estate portfolio and you can choose the property that you want to participate in based on the capital that you can start with and the type of passive income you want to earn. Once you find that property that you want to participate in on our platform, you go and fund your account so you can make your purchase. Here's how you fund the account. You fund it with cryptocurrency. Whether you want to use Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, XRP, USDT, USDC, Solana, Trump coin, and we even have PYUSD, which is on PayPal right now. And that means if you have a PayPal account, you can purchase PYUSD, send it over to our platform and fund your account so you can make your purchase. Once you make the purchase on our platform, you're going to get access to the smart contract that shows your tokens that represent your share of the property that you purchased. Right on the Binance Smart Chain. Our token is the EST token, estate token on Binance Smart Chain. All right. Now, what you're also going to get is a contract that's automatically executed between you and the company that your signature is going to be on, as well as the signature of the CEO of eEstate. That's a legally binding contract globally. Now, here's the next thing, guys. What you're also going to have in that contract is asset inheritance. What does that mean? If something happens to you, that means the passive income doesn't have to stop. It just flows to whoever's responsible or for your estate or whoever you designate. So now you have the opportunity to not just pass on memories to your loved ones, you can pass on some money and more specifically, passive income. How many of you all would be excited about passing on some generational wealth? If you're excited about that, let me see the hearts and hundreds. I hope y'all are picking up what I'm putting down today, guys. I told you, look, if you find any vehicle that allows you to do this and you use these principles, it'll make you wealthy. But I want to tell you, you don't have to go anywhere else. You truly don't, because we got the best opportunity here. It's backed by real world assets. It's not based on speculation. It's not based on trading or any of that. It's based on real world assets, guys. Now, I'm going to take a few moments and I'm going to tell you that we have another unique opportunity for you to participate in. Here's what that opportunity is an agent opportunity. If you ever wanted to be involved in the real estate space, whether it's a real estate agent, a real estate broker, or a real estate investor, I want to tell you, you get to operate in all three modalities with this opportunity. Let me show you how, right? Because I already showed you could build your own real estate portfolio that will build you passive, that will bring you passive income. So you could build that. So that's one. So instead of being a traditional real estate investor, you're going to participate in tokenized properties that produce passive income. All right. Now that's you building your real estate portfolio. Now we're going to talk about now you building your real estate empire because you could become a digital real estate agent. Now, a digital real estate agent has the ability to introduce these properties to other people, and when they make purchases, you're going to be compensated. Now, in order to become a digital real estate agent, you do have to have a licensed subscription and membership to the ARDR, which is the International Association of Real Digital Realtors, right? So you have to have a membership there. Now, it doesn't cost an arm and a leg. You don't have to worry about that. It's only $9 per month for this membership, and you only have to pay your first month to get access. Now, if you prefer to pay the first year, it's only $90 for you to take care of that. Now, once you pay that $9 or the $90, whichever is best for you, you're going to complete a short online application and you're going to sign a contract or an agreement with the company saying that you're going to adhere to their code of conduct when it comes to being a digital real estate agent. Now, once you're approved by the company, you're going to get access to the tools that you need so that you can share these properties and opportunity with other people. So let's just talk about what happens when you start to do that. You participate in our agent compensation. This means how we get paid. So similar to traditional real estate agents, you're going to get paid a commission every time a deal closes that you directly referred. So as traditional real estate agent, it's used to 3 to 5% commission. That's the national average. But I want you guys to keep in mind that traditional real estate agents typically have to pay a percentage to their broker if they haven't reached their cap, right? So that means that they're going to split their commission with their broker on a 70-30 basis. So they don't get to keep all of that 3 to 5% commission. But over here with e-estate, you're going to earn a 6% commission on the deals that you directly close. So that means if you close a tokenized real estate deal for $10,000 that you would earn $600 and you don't have to wait for a closing before you get your money. It's paid to you immediately because our transactions happen immediately. So what I'm telling you is that you can get started with us today, right? You can be approved today. You can share this opportunity and properties with someone today. They can make a purchase today and you can earn commission today and you can have that commission in your pocket today. How many of you all are excited about a right now today opportunity? Let me see the hearts and hundreds, right? If that was all that we had, it would be powerful, but it's not. Let me tell you why it's not, right? Because you also are going to have that connection to the person you referred. Anybody you refer, they're forever connected. They're your forever client. This is what traditional real estate agents wish they had. They wish every time that they referred someone that they would make a commission on every purchase that they did. But it doesn't work like that in traditional real estate. But in tokenized real estate, it does, because every time that person makes another purchase, you are going to get paid again. Now, in the traditional world, most people only make one real estate purchase or maybe two in their lifetime. In the tokenized real estate world through e-estate, the average person who is purchasing properties, they have about 4 properties in their portfolio. That means that they're making 4 purchases. Guys, we've only been around for since the official launch about 7 months. And you mean to tell me most people have 4 properties if they're purchasing? That means you would have got paid 4 times off of purchases from a person. That is incredible. Now, here's the other thing, guys. You also get to enroll other agents in your organization. So if you know someone else who would like to participate in a new wave of wealth of real estate, then you can share this with them and say, hey, look, you want to be an agent in my organization? We're making great money over here. We're helping people get involved. And they say, yeah, we want to do that. They do the same process that you do. But here's what happens, right? You're now going to make a commission anytime they close a deal. If that agent falls on your level 2 through your level 5, you get paid 2% on their deal. Let's just say they come in and they close $100,000 deal. That means that they're going to make 6%, which means they'll get $6,000. But guess what? Because you're their referring agent, you're going to get 2%, which means you would make $2,000. Once again, a win-win scenario. They're happy and you're happy, right? You got money off a deal that you didn't have to close yourself. Now, on your level 6 through your level 8, you'll make 1% on all the deals that are closed on those levels. It's absolutely phenomenal. But here's the next thing, guys. We also earn profit commission. This is how we set up residual income. Now, profit commission is how the company allows you to participate in the profits being paid from the properties in your organization. Now, once you become agent level 4, which I'll show you what that is, it just means that you have $25,000 of tokenized real estate purchases that have happened in your organization. So once you reach that level, you're going to unlock your first level of profit commission, which means you will get paid a 5% match of all the profits that are being paid out from the properties on your first level. So if that's $1,000 a day, then you would make $50 a day. If that was $2,000 a day, then you would make $100 a day. If that was $10,000 a day, you would make $500 per day. And you get to pay on this 5 levels of your organization. Now, I've reached a level where I qualify for all 5 levels. And can I tell you guys that I earn more than $300 a day simply on profit commission alone? So when I wake up in the morning, I know I'm going to make at least $300, whether somebody else buys anything new or whether I talk to anybody or anything, I'm still going to make $300 a day of residual income. And the same opportunity is available for you. Can I tell you, our top agent in the company currently makes over $200,000 a year in just profit commission, not new property sales, not bonuses or anything like that, just profit commission. That's how lucrative this opportunity is. Now, if you guys were looking at actually creating a career or building a career over here, yes, you can do that with us. Everybody starts at the same level at level 0. So being that everybody starts at level 0, you can work your way up to now level 20. We've expanded our compensation plan to 20 levels, right? So now all you got to do is build your real estate purchases that's happening through your organization. And you don't have to be the only one that does it. Let me tell you how it breaks down. It doesn't matter how many people. It's only the purchases. It's not about people, it's about purchases, right? So when you have $500,000 of tokenized real estate purchases that's happening, $500 of tokenized real estate purchases happening in your organization, then you reach level 1. Once it's 3,000, you reach level 2. Once it's 10,000, you reach level 3. Once it's 25,000, you reach level 4. Can I tell you this is a cumulative effort? It's not only on your own. Now, let me tell you how it breaks down. This is what goes over to your turnover. 100% of your personal purchases will actually go over to this turnover. So if you did a $10,000 purchase, you automatically qualified yourself as agent level 3. You're going to get these bonuses, which will be a $250 e-token bonus or a 250 e-token, which gives you the chance to participate in our reward system, which is a money wheel. Every time you spend our money wheel, you're going to win anywhere from 50 cents up to $1,000. You're going to get 250 e-tokens here, right? Now, you're also going to get $100 in cash that you can withdraw in crypto if you want to, right? So you're going to get that as well. You get e-tokens and cash bonuses for every level from 2 and beyond. All right. Now that's powerful, right? But here's how this moves over to your volume, right? So you can do your own personal purchases, but also the people who purchase on your level 1, 80% of the purchase value is going to be credited towards your volume. Okay, on the level 2, 40% of the purchase value is going to be credited towards your volume. On level 3 is 20%. On level 4 is 10%. On levels 5 through 8 is 5%. So that cumulative amount will continue to raise you through the compensation. When you get to agent level 10, that means you have $1 million of real estate purchase volume in your organization. You're going to get 10,000 e-tokens, which is going to allow you to spend our money wheel 100 times. But you're also going to get $10,000 in cash that you can withdraw in crypto. Guys, it's an amazing thing. It's so amazing right here. $10,000. Now, when you get up to agent level 20, that means you have 15 million $15 million of tokenized real estate purchases through your organization, right? You're going to get a 50,000 e-token bonus. 50,000? Can you imagine spinning that money wheel 500 times? 500 times. Every time you're going to win anywhere from 50 cents up to $1,000. But then you're also going to get $50,000 in cash, in which you can withdraw in crypto or you can purchase more tokenized real estate. So that's how it works. If you're wondering if people are already excelling in the system, the answer is absolutely. Our top agent, which we haven't received his new flyer yet, at least I haven't, which he's an agent level 11. You mean he hit agent level 11 in 7 months? Absolutely. That's Martin McLean, Crypto Mason, one of our top leaders. We have Brandon Ivy, who's our crypto educator, who's on the brink of agent level 6, but right now he's agent level 5. He's making it happen. We got Deanna, who's agent level 5. And then we got Keith Smith, who's on her team. He's already reached agent level 5. Who else do we have? We got Reggie Brown, who's agent level 4. We have Julian Clark, and I tell her story all the time. She reached agent level 4, and she didn't have not one agent or one client in her organization. This is all from her building her tokenized real estate portfolio. Then we got G Balls, who's already reached agent level 4. He did that in like a month. Terry Bertrand reached agent level 5. CY, agent level 5. Queen D. Washington, agent level 5. Richard Acuff, agent level 5. Lynn Hamilton, agent level 6. Maurice Jenkins, agent level 6. And I've already reached agent level 8. And I'm like 87, 88% of agent level 9. That's how fast this thing is growing. And here's a big announcement for you all and to my team. Can I tell you guys that I just noticed today? I looked at it and noticed. Guys, do you realize we just passed 2,000 real estate transactions in our organization? We just passed that yesterday. Over 2,000 real estate transactions have been purchased. That's 2,000 real estate tokenized deals that happened through our organization in just 7 months, guys. That is amazing. Why is that amazing? Because in traditional real estate, guys, do you understand that the average traditional real estate agent doesn't sell a home in an entire year? We just closed 2,000 real estate transactions in our organization alone in 7 months. That lets you know we're doing the right thing and we're getting the right results. Man, I'm excited for all of you all. If you're excited about this information, drops. Now, I was about to say drop 777 in the chat. We don't have the chat open yet. But let me see the hearts and hundreds, right? Let me see the hearts and hundreds really quick. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys for doing that. All right, I'm going to get you guys off here real quick. But here's what I want to do, right? I want to do a giveaway, of course. I want to bless somebody today, right? So what I want to see is who is new on the presentation today. If you are brand new, which means you have not purchased a share of a property on our platform yet, right? If you haven't purchased any tokenized real estate on our platform, then I want you to drop a 1 in the chat right now. Do it really quick for me, guys. Drop a 1 in the chat right now. If you have not purchased any tokenized real estate, if you haven't made a tokenized real estate purchase on our platform, drop a 1 in the chat for me. Is there anybody brand new? Adonis is brand new. Big shout out to you for being on the call today. That's amazing. That's amazing. Is it only Adonis? Adonis going once, going twice, going 3 times. Sold. Adonis, you are the winner today. You're going to get your account funded so you can purchase some tokenized real estate on our e-estate platform. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful here. So here's what we're going to do, right? All right. So I see we had 2. So Adonis and DT. So here's what we're going to do. Adonis, who invited you onto the presentation today? Who invited you? Put it in the chat. Who invited you to come on with us today? Oh man, there you go. Virus is doing some incredible things. She had someone win recently as well. So what I want you to do is get with Virus and go ahead and enroll. Set up your free account. Set up your free account and get verified on the platform. And then I want you all to email me the email address that you enroll with. Okay, I'm gonna put my email address. DT, who invited you onto the presentation today? All right, I'm gonna put. So I'm gonna put this in. So DT, you can't can you okay, awesome. Is it my Sharita? Is it Sharita Deloach? Awesome. DT, get with my wife. Make sure. All right, awesome. So DT, get with my wife and make sure that you get enrolled and get your account verified on the platform. Go through the KYC verification. And then what we're going to do is we're going to send some funds over to your account so you can make your first purchase on the platform. All right, we're going to make sure that you get taken care of as well. Y'all see what we're doing? We're creating new tokenized real estate asset owners on a daily basis. This is what we're doing, guys. We're blessing the world this way. So, guys, this has been an incredible presentation. Congratulations to the winners. Can we show some love to the people who won today? Let's drop 777 in the chat for the people who won today. Let's drop 777 in the chat. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Incredible, incredible. So this is amazing, guys. I'm so glad that you guys were on here today. And once again, we've done this and we've done amazing. You guys know I take the weekends off, right? But we do have a presentation coming up that's on. We do have a presentation that's coming up, and it's going to be on Saturday, tomorrow at 1 p.m. I believe Charles Dyson is still doing a presentation tomorrow at 1 p.m. So if you want to get in front of this information again so you can understand it even better, then I want you guys to be on that presentation tomorrow. You'll hear it from Charles Dyson's perspective. Charles Dyson is a successful trader in the financial markets, and he's going to be giving you his perspective of this opportunity and sharing this information with you guys as well. We may have some other presentations that may be coming up today. So just keep a lookout of our calendar and everything that's going on, so you can make sure that you're involved in every presentation that is happening here. Okay, guys? So just wanted to put that out there for you guys. We're just moving this movement forward, and I'm excited about what we're doing and how many people we are blessing. So let's do it, guys. Let's get it started. Let's make it happen. I'm so glad you guys was on, and I'm gonna end this the way that I end every presentation. I want you guys to know I love and care about each and every one of you, and I definitely want to see all of you win. Until the next presentation, I want you guys to be blessed, and I'm out. Peace